Hello, world. This is America's Supermom, and this is a special edition that I call the Corona Chronicles. During this time, we are suffering from a pandemic that is affecting everyone across the world. We are joined with the rules and regulations of being shelter in place, which means we are limited with the ability to go about our daily business, confined to our homes based on a coronavirus that has been sweeping the entire world. For some people, the effects could be mild. For others, it can be fatal. So we are coming together as a community, as a family during this time of difficulty to share what it is like in our part of the world, how we are affected, and the things that we have in common, what kind of problems that are taking place in our industries and in our relationships and finances, and coming together so that we can plan for a better tomorrow. As this epidemic or pandemic crosses the world, we are waiting for relief. We're waiting for the virus to die off and for us to go back to some state of normalcy, whatever that may be, after things kind of settle down. So what is that going to look like once the dust settles? How are things going to be different? So as we go through this process, we're coming together as a world to create ideas, strategies, connect in ways that we have never connected before. So that is the purpose of the special podcast that I call the Corona Chronicles, so that we can get some insight and have empathy and compassion on one another, create new innovative ideas that can not only improve our life, but our fellow brothers and sisters across the world. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, guys, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I am so excited about my next guest. We actually met organically, I believe it was over Facebook. And we are now collaborating on a women's summit and really excited to be able to give back, especially during this time with this pandemic and helping people have a positive perspective and to continue to think of ways that they can pivot and move forward as we navigate through the waters of something that's very unfamiliar for everyone that affects the whole world. So at this time, I want to introduce Lenka, and I'm going to give her the opportunity to tell us a little bit about herself before we dive into the interview.
Well, hello. Thank you so much, Lachelle, for having me on your show. I appreciate it. And I am super excited to share with your audience about what we're up to, what you and I created together, and also about life these days. So let's talk about that. My background is, if you guys wonder where the accent is from, I am from Czech Republic originally, from Europe. And I came to the United States in 1996. I was halfway through college at the time. I was very young. And I came here to learn English. So I was here for a year and I fell in love with Southern California and I didn't want to leave. But it was just, the agreement I had with my mom, my dad, that I will be here for a year and come back and finish the school, that I just had to keep my word. And so that's what I did. I returned home. I finished my master's program. And as soon as I graduated, honestly, like 2 days later, I had a flight ticket back to the United States. And I was on my way back to Los Angeles, where I'm still, am still now, still here,
Mm.
still after all these years. And I've been working here. I've been creating a business here. It's actually my second business. And I'm just loving it here. I enjoy the people. I enjoy the culture, a multicultural place, right?
Mhm.
Los Angeles is very multicultural. And yeah, contributing to women mostly. I like to work with women. So
That is
that's
so
how,
awesome.
yeah, that's how you and I met, right? On the women's
Yeah,
platform on Facebook. Yeah.
absolutely. Now, so did you know English before you came here to study?
Oh
Or
gosh, no, no. You know what happened? I was 21 when I first
Mhm.
got here, and we had English in school, but the way it was, I don't know if you guys follow the history and like the history of my country. It was Czech Republic was under the influence of Russia basically for many
Mhm.
many years since 1949. And in 1989, we had a revolution in Europe, and all the Eastern European countries freed themselves, and Czech Republic being one of them. So the border finally opened. The Berlin Wall came down, and the border
Mhm.
opened. And I was in high school at that time. So up until then, Russian was the only language that we got to learn, and I was fluent in Russian, right? And
Mm.
then the border opened, and everything's changed, and now we had freedom to learn new languages, and freedom to travel, and freedom to do whatever we wanted to. So I picked English as my third language, basically, and so that was that. But who was teaching us English were not the native English speakers. These were the teachers, same teachers who were teaching us Russian before. They just changed the
Mm.
subject, and they just now, which was really confusing. And the thing, or the way they went about it, they were like 2 or 3 chapters ahead of us. They were learning as we are learning, and so the English was on that level. That actually was really like not good. When I came here first time, I knew few words, but that was it. It felt like I was mute, and
Mm.
I couldn't understand a word. I couldn't say a word. It was really strange, and I picked up the language by living here, by trying to communicate with local people here. And there was a lady whose birthday it is today, actually. She is from Europe originally, but she's been living here for a very long time. And she took me under her wing,
Mm.
and she kept calling me every single day in her French accent in English.
Mhm.
And she was like, I learned English, you'll learn English. I'm gonna call you every day until you speak English.
Wow.
And so that's how I learned the language. Yeah, I was
That is
forced.
so awesome. Now, so, this is a
Mhm.
great segue because a lot of people feel like we're forced into a lot of stuff. Your industry is
Mhm.
changing. You didn't have any warning. Um, so, what were some practices or routines or habits, um, for lack of a better term, that you believe you worked on in order to help you to be more flexible about change and doing something, unchartered, so to speak, such as learning a language, for example?
hmm Well, I understood that that was the time. So I came here for a year. Like I said, I still had to go home and finish my studies. So, I had time that was very limited, and I knew that I have to make the most of it, right?
Mhm.
So, I was very, very determined to learn that language as best as I can within that limited time frame. And she was just very, very on it. Like she would not give up. So what it taught me is if you want something in life, you really have to focus on that thing, and you don't give up. You don't just little bit want it, or you don't just like want it, if it happens, it happens. If it not, it doesn't. It doesn't work like that. Nothing in life works like that. If
Mhm.
you want something, you have to commit, like you live and you breathe it, and you speak it, and you dream it, and it's just, so that's how I go about everything in life. When
Mm.
and I was learning the language. That's what it was. When I was finishing my studies, that's what it was. When I wrote my first book in English, that's what it was. You just commit and you don't give up until you finish that
I
project.
love that. Now, so this is good
Mm,
because a lot of people, they kind of have that mindset that, I'm a good person. I like, striving for goals, but, it's an element of kind of creating the environment. You have to kind of
yeah.
create what you want. So, what elements do you have to go into your daily routine or certain habits to allow you the discipline to kind of manifest what it is you're striving for.
hmm hmm Yeah, I am a big believer in daily routine. That is something that, people think of it as, oh, it could be boring after a while. We just, if it's the same every single day, I would get bored. And I'm not saying like, don't explore new things. Definitely do. But if you do have daily routine, which works great for me, um, you take that stress that comes with the unknown, like what I'm gonna do tomorrow, I don't know, right? If you have a routine, you already
Mhm.
know. You don't have to think about it twice. So I like to implement that into every single aspect of my life. So like my closet, for example, that's a perfect example. So my closet, I only choose colors that were recommended to me by a friend who is a color stylist, and she said these are the
Mm.
colors that will work for you. And so ever since then, I only buy those colors, and I know that whatever I choose from my closet, whatever combination of pieces, they'll always match together. So it takes the thinking out of
Mm.
it, right? So little things
Mhm.
like that, little tweaks like that will save you so much time. And then you have that time to go and have some fun and explore new things. But if you want to have stuff done, you really have to have that routine. And so for me, it's like every day I wake up at the same time, 5 a.m. Doesn't matter
Mhm.
if it's a weekend or a work day or holidays, doesn't matter. 5 a.m. I wake up. And then I have my little thing, I do yoga. I start with lemon water. I do yoga. I do shower. I put on makeup. Then I have breakfast, and then I go about my day. But I already know what that day will be like because I planned it the night before. So it's like, once you establish that thing that works for you, and this will be different for every single person, but once you
Mhm.
have that thing that works for you and makes you the most productive, then you just stick to it. It takes so much stress off of you. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that it's one of those things though where a lot of people we have been distracted. We've done and got these routines of going to work, coming back, extracurricular activities for our kids, and now we're in a place to sit down and really evaluate a lot of the habits that we had to see if they really have served us or not. So for somebody
Yeah.
who is, kind of in that mode of feeling like, what, I'm really enjoying this time of reflection. However, when everything changes back to some sort of normalcy, what type of, patterns or routines should people kind of stay in line with and kind of evaluating what things to continue with or not? Does that question make sense?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what would work that we get to enjoy now that we can take with us when we
Mhm.
go back to normal? Definitely,
Mhm.
like I would say, like get that wake up time early, and
Mhm.
just take care of you first. First thing in the morning is your time. The whole house is quiet. Everybody's still asleep. Make it you time. Make it your self-care time. So the
Mhm.
self-care, very important. And again, that will look different for everybody, out there. For me, it's yoga. For me, for someone else, it could be like reading a scripture in the morning. For
Mhm.
someone else could be like, going to the gym and like really running for like half an hour. Some other person could have like a bath, or I don't know, like
Mhm.
do their face masks or something. So it'll be different for everybody, but establish that self-care routine. And then meditation is another one that
Mhm.
I do now, and I would like to
Mhm.
take it with me when we go back to normal. I really want to keep doing that. I've been doing that here and there, but now that we are home and I have more time, I've been meditating every single day, and that is something I want to continue doing. What
Mhm.
else? Eating healthy, another thing. So as we are home now, I've been
Mhm.
home for like over 2 months now, and I really find it easy when I'm home and I have more time to prepare my meals and think about what I'm gonna eat. I'm not on a run all the time, so I have time to plan my meals. I want to do that again when we go back to normal. I want to have that habit and keep that habit of like meal prep, right? Again,
Mhm.
saves you time, takes the thinking out of it. It's great. So yeah, that would be my
Mhm.
top
Those
three,
are
I
some
think.
great.
Mhm.
Yeah, those are some great tips. That's great. Now, so talk to us about the Women's Summit, because this is quite a
Mhm.
large undertaking. I can't even remember how many speakers that, you coordinated for this event. So,
Mhm.
walk us through what that's like, what was really the passion behind it, and, just
Mhm.
walk us through that. Mhm.
Yes. So, so I run a skincare business around my full-time job. And as I'm working with my clients, I'm always trying to think about how can I serve you better? How can I bring more value into what we are already doing? I mean, there's one thing is, yeah, I'm going to help you. You get the products. I'll teach you how to use the products and you get great results. That's fantastic. But I want to be more than that, right? I want to be that person
Mhm.
in your life that you think of first when you think about positivity, when you think about inspiration, when you think about, like that's someone you look up to, and someone who drives you to become better every single day. So I was thinking about how can I make it easier for women to really connect to themselves, and that self-care and self-love, and how to, because many of my clients have the same issue. Money is never a problem with these ladies, but they are achieved professionals,
Mhm.
business women. Money is not an issue. What's issue for them is they don't put themselves first. They put everybody else first. They would take care of you and their mom and their sister, and friends need help, and kiddos need support.
Mhm.
But when it comes to themselves, they're like the last thing on the list. So I was thinking,
Mhm.
how can I serve you better? How can I inspire you to really get in touch with yourself? And how can I show you that it's possible? How can I show you? Because if it's always coming from me, I can be talking and talking and talking. Maybe it's not landing, but maybe if someone else tells you the same thing, and maybe if there is 24 of those someone else's, then it's gonna land, right?
Mhm.
So what I
Mhm.
came up with is the summit, and like the concept of it is 24 wonderful speakers, experts in their fields, you being one of them, Lachelle, came
Mhm.
together. And they all come from different walks of life. They all have different backgrounds. All of them are awesome in what they do. And so I asked them similar questions throughout the summit. We went through like conversations, and we shared their stories, and I asked them similar questions. And it's so cool to see how connected we all are as women, because most of them,
Mhm.
when they gave those great tips and ideas and what works for them, all of them, it always boils down to that one common thread through the whole summit, and that's the self-love, right? And so yeah, it's a
Mhm.
beautiful series, beautiful show. It will launch on Monday,
Mhm.
so we are really excited. I got to talk to over
Mhm.
150 people. I interviewed 150 women for this summit, and I selected the best of the best. So 24 of the best are speaking, and I am
Mhm.
so excited to introduce them to the whole world and just have everybody watch what we came up with. It's going to be very inspiring.
That is so awesome, and I love the element of just giving back. Because a lot of people think that they want to help change, and You have just been a beacon of light to show people that, we can be connectors, we can collaborate. A lot of people feel like, well, if I can't do it all, what I'm doing is not adding value. So in the
Mhm.
case of me, I'm mother of 15, but I'm collaborating and just speaking. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people can see how their zone of genius coming together can make a great masterpiece. So that is awesome. I'm excited.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now, so I know that's a lot of work in terms of doing that, coordinating and things like that. So, talk to us about, how long it took, because
Mhm.
a lot of people who are speakers are in a place to where they're trying to pivot and transition maybe some live events to a virtual setting. So,
Mhm.
what kind of investment of time or organization or whatever does that kind of look like for somebody who
Mhm.
could pivot in that area? Mhm.
Yeah, so that's a really good question, and I'll give it to you guys as it was. So I am very weird in this way. I'm like the only one, I think, from all the people that I know who are doing these summits and who are doing shows like I do. I'm probably the only one who did it all by myself. So none of my
Mm.
like fellow entrepreneurs who do these things does it by themselves. Um, I just wanted to know how much work really goes into it. And that's why I did that by myself. Will I do it
Mm.
again in the future all by myself? No, I'll get my VAs like everybody else. I will get help. But it was really great because, and that's again, like I'm master controller when it comes to personality type.
Mhm.
I am type A.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
I would like to also know once I hire virtual assistant, I want to know what to expect of them because now I know what it took. In the future, I
Mm.
will know how hard they must work, right? So yeah, so
Mhm.
I just figured that would be a good way to go about it. So what it took to answer your question, I started working on it early February. I believe it was like mid February. Yeah, mid-February.
Mhm.
And every single day since like Valentine's Day until now, I've been working. I took my first day off
Mm.
last Sunday and I didn't know what to do with myself. I'm like in this go, 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 like 24/7. And I'm obsessed with the
Wow.
summit. My mental energy, my focus goes into the summit 24/7. Like I dream about it. In my wake time, I'm on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, like honestly, every single day. So what it takes is there's a lot of behind the scenes work. First, you need to find the speakers. So like I said, I interviewed 150 people. So 150 interviews. Later, you have your selected group of people, and then you have to coordinate. You have to have your call with them to find out if it's a good fit, if it's going to work for their schedule, your schedule. You schedule the interviews, and then you start interviewing people. So I've been interviewing people every single weekend, Saturday, Sunday, all day long, every single
Mm.
weekend since March. And then we
Mhm.
we finished right on time. As I was doing the interviews, I was doing all the graphics that go into it for the promotion, all the copy that will go into promotion, all the emails. Now, as it goes out on Monday, every single day, those people who sign up for it will receive an email. And with that email goes a landing page or page, website page, basically, that has the interview in and the speaker's gift in. So
Mhm.
there was that. I had to create 24 different websites basically. And yes, a
Mhm.
lot of work behind the scenes, but it came together beautifully. We created nice speakers promo center, like a kind of like a hub, online hub, where all the speakers get to hang out and meet each other and see who else is on the show, and they grab their promotional material. And now we are in the last couple days of promoting the summit, which we did for 2 weeks. Everybody chipped in, everybody
Mhm.
contributed. It's a teamwork, and like my biggest
Mhm.
takeaway from this summit, I know that this is going to change people's lives because we are already having people sign up, and those who are signing up sending me emails. Like I shared with my speakers,
Mm.
there is a nurse somewhere in Texas, and she sent an email showing me picture of her in her full gear, like fully covered head to toe. You can
Mhm.
even see the person behind the protective gear. And she is sharing a very emotional email how grateful she is that we've created that, thanking all of the speakers. She cannot wait to watch because this is the light in her darkness right
Mhm.
now, right? So
Mhm.
that's what we get to
Mhm.
do. That's powerful. But what's also powerful, I get to connect with all these speakers and we get to create this beautiful teamwork, and it feels so amazing.
Mhm.
It feels like having a new family to me. It's just, yeah,
Mhm.
so fulfilling on so many levels.
That is so awesome. And so now that, we're in this space and it is dark for a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
what element or I don't know, was this something that you feel like you've always had that ability to have empathy for other people, or was there some event or something that really kind of prompted you to kind of be conscious of that, to a point to where you took it a step further and created the summit, you know?
Yeah, empathy is huge for me. And I don't know if you got a chance to read my book yet, but it
Mm-mm.
basically starts with how everything in life happens for a reason, and how
Mhm.
growing up, I thought I had all these obstacles and all these unusual situations happen to me. And I back then I thought like, why is it happening to me? Why me? And now looking back, I see how every single thing had to happen for me to be who I am today. And so one of the
Mm.
stories, one of the chapters is about my grandfather who
Mhm.
I was born to very young parents, which was normal back then. I was born in 75, so my mom just graduated her master's program, and my dad was already working. They were 22 and 23 years old, and my mom got
Mhm.
pregnant with me, and I was born. But what many people don't know. 2 or 3 years prior to that, 3 years prior to that, my grandfather had, or he was in a car accident. He got hit by a car
Mhm.
and suffered major like brain and spine injuries, and that left him paralyzed
Mm.
from his neck down. So for 18 months he was
Mhm.
from surgery through surgery to surgery, and then he ended up home, in like my grandma took care of him full time. And then I was born and my mom had to go back to work, so my grandma had my grandfather fully disabled and a newborn baby, myself, and
Mm.
she took care of both
Mhm.
of us. So uh, just watching, growing up in that environment and watching their interaction, her selflessness and dedication
Mm.
and like unconditional love for this man, and he's great. Like he was so grateful and so appreciative of every single thing she's done for him. And he couldn't touch her hand. He couldn't, like, he just smiled at her. And I just saw it in his eyes, how grateful he is for every single thing.
Mm.
Like she handed him a spoon and she spoon fed him basically. So she would feed him and wipe his face. And then he would just look at her with this like, oh, it's so growing up as a little child and watching that, being around that was priceless for
Mm.
me, because that made me who I am today. And it's very easy for me to be empathetic with people, like get into their shoes or think about how they must be feeling in this moment, what made them do certain things or say certain things, right? Where is it coming
Mhm.
from, and kind of understand it. Yeah.
That is so awesome. That's beautiful.
Mm.
Now, so tell us the name of your book because I don't think we got that.
Yeah, so the book is called Dare to Thrive, Girl, and
Mm,
yeah, it's a very short read. It's starts with the story and how we each of us have that same thing. We all pick up all these things as we grow up. I call them little gifts, as you grow up. It's like a Cinderella, right? Like she had all these
mm-hmm.
little tiny what did she have? Like a um I don't know, like a was it a nuts or what did she have? Like she
Mm-hmm.
opened them and then the dress came out or the shoes came
Oh
out or
yeah.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So same thing here. Like we all have these things that we go through, and each person gives us a certain gift, certain strength that we then later in
Mm,
life can use to our advantage. So it starts with that, and then we go into how we can have it all, and if we apply ourselves, and if we use all those gifts smartly, we can build empires. So it's very empowering. It's meant for entrepreneurs. It's meant for business people, women mostly. And basically, what it says is, if I could do it with the limitations I had, anyone can be successful.
amen. That's awesome. I love that. This is
Mm,
great. So these are some great nuggets, some great success and overcoming. I just love your spirit. This is just great for, especially right now with so many people who are, being
yeah.
challenged. So, what is the best way for everybody to get a hold of you?
The best way to get hold of me is most likely on Facebook. I have my personal Facebook page, Lenka Wallace. There's also my business page, Link Up with Lenka. So
Mhm.
either way, both are great. You can follow us. I can also be reached through my website, linkupwithlenka.com/home. And
Mhm.
yeah, or through email, lenkawallace@gmail.com is my email.
Okay, this is wonderful. Now, are there any final words that you want to share with everybody today?
I would love everyone to jump in and join us for the summit, because I truly believe there is so much value that these 24 women created that I don't want anyone to miss out on that. So if you ladies would like to join us, the link is linkupwithlenka.com/face dash forward dash summit.
Well, I am excited to be really glad that we were able to collaborate and thank you so much for your nuggets of wisdom, Lenka, and looking forward to collaborating in the future.
Sounds great. Wishing you the best. Thank you for having me and can't wait to watch your
Thank
interview.
you. All right, well, you have a great evening, okay?
Thank you too.
All right, bye bye.
Bye.
Another great interview. I just love the whole mindset of nothing being too challenging to overcome. Just imagine having a language barrier and moving forward in your dreams and aspirations. In spite of that, I just love the strength, the tenacity, perseverance, all those different attributes that have to be present to accomplish such a goal. So we want to thank Linka for her words of wisdom. If you are interested in the summit, please follow on all social media platforms. Link up with Lenka. That's Lenka. Link up with Lenka.com and find out about this summit because it is amazing. Um, if you're interested in being a guest on the podcast, please email me at info@lachelleatkins.com, or you can message me through Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. So I want to thank you guys for listening, and may you have a wonderful evening. And if you feel led to, and something in this podcast resonate with you, please feel free to share it with others. And if you really feel inspired, please leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, or any of the platforms for podcasts. Thank you again for listening.